Hey! Welcome to Heart Academy for January 23rd, 2017. This one is for 8th graders and rectangular prism. So I'm going to do a few of these problems like we did in class so that you know what you're doing. The first thing that you need to have, right now I'm in advisory, so I have a bunch of 7th graders too. 7th graders, check out the work the 8th graders are doing. So here's what you have. The first thing that you always want to have is your formula for the surface area. The formula for surface area is surface area equals 2 times width, the length, plus the height and the length, plus the height and the width. This is the formula for every single problem. Remember, when you have two numbers and letters beside each other, it means multiply, right? So I'm looking at number 2. This question right here. You have to figure out what's the width, what's the length, what's the height. Here's how I do it. I think width as a belt, okay? And alright, so what I did earlier was pretend that this was SpongeBob's cousin. Don't laugh, 7th graders. And if you think that, so if you look at this as like SpongeBob's cousin, Sponge Cube Pants, right? You can tell which number is which this way. Which one of these numbers would actually look like a belt? This one, or this one? This one. A belt is width. So I know if it's going across looking like a belt, it's the width, okay? The height is how tall somebody is. So which one is showing you height? Up and down, or going kind of this way as if you were laying down? It's this one. So there's your height. Leaving this one, and this one I call the shadow number, because if the sun was shining, it would cast a shadow right here. So this is my shadow, which I call the length. Or pretend you knocked over a SpongeBob square cube over, and he was laying down, you would say that this was the length. So if you know the difference between the length, width, and height, it's easy to solve these problems. So now that we have length, width, and height, plug it in. So remember the width, think belt. So that's width times length. So this one is 20 times length, 20 times 4, plus height, 6 times the length, which is 4, plus the height again was 6, times the width, which is the belt, 20. So what you're doing here are the 3 multiplication problems, this, and this, and add them together. So 20 times 4, 80? 80? I need your help with this, son. The 20 times 4, 80, right? Okay. Plus the 6 times 4, I know that one's 24, right? Plus 6 times 20, 120, right? And what do we do in between them? Add them. I can't do that. You do this.
It's 224.
Okay. So this is 224. Notice how we did that in hand. That's great. But don't forget to multiply that 2 that's on the outside. So then multiply this by 2. And doing that, I would get 448 as my answer. Cubic centimeters. Okay? So now that we have that one done, I'm going to go ahead and plug in your numbers for number 3. Okay. So plugging in numbers for number 3. Here we go. And remembering that this is a 2 on the outside. That's the length. Here we go. So for number 3, I can now see what's length, width, and height. The width for this one is 5. Length is 16. Height is 14. All right. So I have width times the length. So width is, I'm going to stop spraying that stuff. Width is 5. Length is 16. Height is 14. So I have 5 times 16 plus the height, which is 14 times the length, 16 plus height, 14 times the width, 5. You finished number 3? Or you're almost there? Son?
What?
Did you finish number 3? You almost there? I'm seeing if we come up with the same answer. Okay, so I have 5 times 16. 5 times 16. That I have 80. Oh, thank you. Then 14 times 16. Oh, I got mine in here. Help me out. Thank you. Tag team effort. Thank you. 224. And the last one is 14 times 5. 70. And then add them all together. That's 80.
Yeah, it's 374.
224 plus 70. What'd you get?
Just add 80 and 70.
You know I can't do that, son. It's like all you have to do is round it to the nearest tenth and place that over there. Don't forget the ones you dropped off of a corner at CVS. I mean, I have no idea how he does that in his head. All right, so I got a total for this. What was your total for this part?
374, but we have to multiply that by
Ah, that's right. Don't forget that too. So multiply that by 2. So 2 times 374 will give us.
740.
That is correct. Answer for number 3, 748 millimeters. Don't forget to cube it. Excuse me, square it, not cubed. Millimeters squared.
We have to do this, right?
Okay? So, no, I'm going to do that. Rest on. Let me pause that for a second. All right, be back in a second. Okay, I think I last left off with number 3. I can't remember if I did number 3. I don't think I did, so I'm going to go and do number 3. Okay, so now that we know how to figure out length, width, and height, let's go ahead and plug in these numbers. So remember, if you're looking at SpongeBob Cute Pants, this is the width. This one is the width. Because remember, all you have to do is like pretend that you're drawing to where you can actually see a person. There it is. So that's width. This is height. That is length. So with that information, you can now plug this in. Width is going to be 5. Height is 14, length is 16. So the first part is width times the length. So that's going to be 5 times the length, which is 16. Add that to the height, which is 14, times the length, which is 16. Add that to the height, which is 14, times width, which is 5. All right. And you know you can use a calculator. You're going to do these 3 multiplications and then add them all together. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is 5 times 16. So I have 5 times 16. I did do this one, didn't I? Because I have it right here. 5 times 16 is 80, plus the 14 times the 16, 224, plus 14 times the 5, that was 70. We're going to add those all together. So 70 plus the 224 plus the 80 gives me 374. And don't forget you have to multiply it by that 2. That's right here. So I have 2 times 374, 748. So all together, this equals 748. Okay? So 748 is the answer here. And meters squared. Excellent. All right, let me see if I can fit another one in here. So the first one, next one that I have down here, here we go. Oh, I need to put that formula back up on the screen. There. Sit down. Okay, so this one, 14, 17, and a 4. Okay, so width is 4, length is 17, plus the height, which is 14, times the length, which is 17, plus the height, which is 14, times the width, which is 4. So these are the multiplication problems I have to do now. I bet you I can get this answer in here real quick. Let's see, 17 times 4, that's 68. plus 14 times 17, that's 238, plus 14 times 4, which is 56. We add all these together. Oops. I have 56 plus 238 plus 68 equals, thank you, son, 362. So I have all this is 362. Don't forget you have to multiply it with 2. So 2 times 362. So times 2, 724. Let's look at the answer key. Boom. It is correct. So 724. The units here is feet. So feet squared. All right. So I'm going to do these other two, or I was going to do these other two for Heart Academy, but I'm not. So just know that you do not have to do these two for homework, 8th graders. But what we will do is this last row that's right here, 7, 8, 9. Whoops. You do not have to do the word problem, but you will have to do the next page, questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Not the word problem, because I think you got the idea now. Just make sure that you use the formula every single time, and you will have the correct answer. See you tomorrow.